Hello and welcome to IEP Answers. I'm Liz Weaver of Learning Success and I'll be your host for this exciting video series. IEP Answers is an initiative to help you understand individualized education plans, otherwise known as IEPs. In this video series, you will hear from educational professionals and parents alike, giving you a well-rounded perspective from a variety of viewpoints. This information will help you determine if an IEP is needed at all, and if so, how to work with the school to design an IEP that is a scaffolding to building a better student rather than a crutch for them to lean on. In today's video, we have Ilene B Miller. And Ilene is the educational consultant and special needs advocate for families in the United States and abroad, and a best-selling author of My Child is Special Needs, Now What? Her video is about how to prepare for an IEP meeting. Let's watch.
Hi, my name is Ilene Miller. I'm a special needs advocate and educational consultant and have been for over 20 years. The one question that parents and families always ask me during the open opportunity session is, how do I prepare for an IEP meeting? The best answer I can give, and the one answer that I give, is to be extremely organized and comprehensive. By that, I mean there are several components that you need to put together prior to going into the meeting for your child. The first, make yourself a checklist. Write down everything that you are looking for your child to receive in regards to support services, classroom placement, in-home instruction if applicable, and anything else that you feel as though would help your child to succeed and get to the level that they need to be. That again can be, maybe you prefer your child in a self-contained classroom. Maybe you feel as though you would like them mainstreamed and maybe just pulled out for certain services. Maybe you think as though your child should get speech twice a week and maybe OT once a week. But you should have all of these things written down so when you are at the meeting, you have it directly in front of you. Parents a lot of times get very flustered going into the meeting. School districts are notorious for not giving in and flustering parents and having them sign something that when they go home and think about it, it wasn't really what they wanted for their child. That is the second thing I tell parents. Do not sign anything at the meeting. Always tell the school and whoever is at the meeting, whether it's the CSE chair, psychologist, special ed teacher, an itinerant teacher, whoever is there, that you want to think about everything that was discussed during the meeting, and you will get back to them within 24 hours, which is a reasonable amount of time for you to go home, talk to your spouse or your family members, and really think without any distractions what was said, and if what they proposed is what something that you would feel is acceptable. Please get back to them in 24 hours if that's what you tell them. It is based on an honesty system. You want a collaborative relationship with the school, and if you tell them you're going to do something and you do not, that will not allow them to believe you the next time you tell them something. It goes on the flip side that if the school tells you, they will get back to you in the next day or two after you've brought something up to them, then you expect them to hold their word as well. Another thing that you should do, and is absolutely a necessity to prepare for the IEP meeting, is get all of the documentation that you have together. What I mean by that is anyone who has seen your child, therapist, pediatric neurologist, perhaps maybe they were in a program, so a teacher from that program, anyone that has had contact with your child and that has performed assessments or just has notes on their behavior, how they are socially doing with other children, perhaps their peers. Everything, every piece of documentation you need to have at this meeting. The way to keep it organized is to make a folder for each individual person and take their documentation, make one copy of each thing that you will end up giving to the CSE chair at the meeting, and keep it in a folder in chronological order. This shows a history of your child, maybe difficulties that they've had, maybe accomplishments that they've had, but you need all of this. You must have all of this documentation from all the pertinent individuals. If you do not feel that you have everything, please contact those individuals and have them email it to you. Explain when your meeting is, explain that you need to be fully prepared. School districts take parents a lot more seriously when they come in with all their documents and fully prepared, instead of just demanding, I want this or that for my child. Like I said earlier, schools usually do not give in and roll over to what you ask. There is some type of a quote fight, but if you can show them that you are taking this very seriously and you are invested in your child's future, then so will they, and you will have a much better chance of getting what you are asking for. Let's go back to the copies. Please make a copy of each piece of documentation that you have from each individual. Give that entire packet to the individual running the meeting. It could be the CSE chair, sometimes it could be just the head of the special education department for the district in general, or a psychologist. Give them the full set. If they would like a set for each individual at the meeting, the secretary in the office can make that copy so everyone can follow along as you go through each and every entity. The other thing that I tell parents that is very important is contact all these individuals and see if they are able to attend your meeting via the telephone. Usually I have found that if you give individuals enough notice, they can block out some time during your time of your meeting, and they can come to the phone and give a first-hand account of their experience with your child. This is very important. Coming from a parent is important, but hearing it from the actual individual who specializes in certain areas, whether it be a psychologist for mental health, whether it be an occupational therapist or an ABA therapist, it is very important that the school hears everything these people have to say firsthand. If the individuals have a busy schedule and it is difficult for them to block out the time, then if you can ask them for a letter specifically stating what they in fact would say verbally during a meeting, then they can certainly do that, and you can bring that with you to the meeting. Everything, all your records that you bring, is very important that it is as updated as possible. Bringing a letter or bringing a test result from a year ago is not going to help your child and help the case. Things need to be in the present, and if you know you have a meeting in enough time and you see as you go through your documentation that it is 6 months or older, then you need to contact those individuals to receive more up-to-date information. Also, it is very important that any correspondence or communication you have with any individuals from school prior to or even after the meeting is done via email. Please do not have conversations on the phone and not follow it up with an email. I realize teachers call you, staff call you, and that's perfectly fine. However, after you speak with them on the phone, please send them an email, or anybody that is involved in this telephone conversation, including the CSE chair, so they are on top of it and are well aware and everyone is in the loop. And state, thank you so much for calling me on that date at that time. I appreciate your input and anything else that you feel is necessary to be included in the email. Schools, again, are notorious for denying. I didn't say that, we didn't speak, that wasn't the case. You need to have everything in writing. Please, before you go into your meeting, please have a formal diagnosis from a pediatric neurologist. It is very important. Schools will base an IEP on the formal diagnosis that they are given. What you do not want is for the school to run tests and to give you a diagnosis. Usually, in many cases, the school's assessments are skewed in their favor and therefore do not reflect an actual diagnosis or an actual result. This is extremely important. I hope this information has helped you to prepare for your IEP meeting, and I wish you and your family the best of luck in getting all the services that your child so richly deserves.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. This video has been part of IEP Answers Initiative, an initiative to educate parents about IEPs from a variety of viewpoints. We've created this because this is an important subject that so many parents need to understand. Please make sure to share the video and use the hashtag IEP Answers so we can find you on social media. If you would like to be a part of IEP Answers Initiative and share your story or expertise on the subject, you can get in touch with us by using the contact form at www.learningsuccesssystem.com. Please put IEP Answers in the subject line. Thank you for watching and sharing, and in case no one's told you yet today, you are an amazing parent. I appreciate you for showing up and doing the work it takes to embrace your child's brilliance and unleash their potential. I'm Liz Weaver of Learning Success, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.